to a review, or another training aid review. If you're new to MIGMATIS Golf, then you probably don't know. Those of you that have been following this channel, you do know. I'm a bit of a training aid junkie, so I like to do reviews on them. And then in general, MIGMATIS Golf is all about unconventional golf instruction. Over the years, I've been really frustrated with conventional golf instruction. There's a lot of untruths, myths out there, and MIGMATIS Golf tries to just give you different ways of getting better. So today we're going to review Greg Norman's secret. Don't you just love the names they give these things? I mean, if that was the only secret Greg Norman had, we'd all be on tour, right? But what is it? Basically, it's a device that is supposed to help you hold the angle in your right wrist, like this, through impact. Now, I'll say straight off, I'm not 100% convinced that trying to hold anything in a golf swing particularly works. So I think normally that holding the wrist just happens just on its own by the body movements you make before it. So trying to force a position I don't think is particularly a good idea. So I'm not a big fan of these training aids to try and do that. So here we go. How do you use it? If you're a right-handed golfer, it goes on your right hand. You kind of slip your index finger through this little loop there. Attach the wristband around your wrist. Try and make the loop around the finger as tight as possible. There it is. It's on your wrist. And as you can see, it forms an angle there in my right wrist, such that I can barely move it. I can still cock this way, can still rotate, but I can't really move the wrist back and forward. You know, if you were a flipper, I wouldn't be able to flip it like this. Now, it seems like a great idea. However, in my opinion, it's effing dangerous. I've tried hitting full shots with this, and if you're not careful, you can literally really hurt yourself. I think if you watch the infomercial, they recommend just doing slow swings and half swings. Very sensible. But basically, if I show you from here, it's designed, so first of all, when you take your setup, you have a lot of shaft lean if you want it to be comfortable. In an ideal world, I wouldn't have this angle so severe. Maybe half that amount. Nobody sets up with that amount of shaft lean. That's ridiculous. But what it's designed to do is designed to keep that angle through impact. Now, I don't entirely dislike it, because for like a little chipping motion, so that you don't flip this wrist into the ground, I quite like it. You know, the type of chip shot that you hit off the back foot and keep the face square through impact? Not the kind where you use the bounce of the club, but the kind where you play it off your back foot, weight a bit forward, and you just keep that angle constant. It's great for that. I love it for that. For those you people that struggle with those little chips, those kind of ones that run across the green, great little device. Other than that, if you try and make swings with it, it's very uncomfortable. The amount of preset hinge in there is very uncomfortable, and you have to really force yourself to rotate the body so that the momentum of the club head doesn't force out and rip your finger off this thing. So all in all, I think it has value. Has value if you just make small shots with it, chips, and small little swings where you concentrate on really turning the body through, but that's about it, really. Otherwise, I'm not a big fan. I think you could probably cause yourself a lot of injury with it, and I think it forces positions that you don't really need to force in the golf swing. If you make the correct moves with your body, that angle will be retained by itself. Trying to force something stiffens up the muscles, you lose distance, you lose your timing. Sorry, but This one gets a 5 out of 10 from me. Great for some things, not particularly what I think it was designed for. And like I said, I think if they made it with a bit less severe cup here in this plastic, it would be better. So there we go. One last time. Greg Norman's secret. Yeah, whatever. But anyway, you never know. It might just help you out if you find one for cheap. If you really struggle with flipping that right wrist for right-handed golf or the trail wrist, get yourself one. It might just help you. All right, see you later. Bye.